to a very special episode of Game of Who. We have very special guests tonight. Dealing with peer pressure is Mr. Ven Stone, and dealing with crippling pill addictions is Mr. Pedro Mateus. And as always, I'm Jordan Svung, and I'm here to scream about Game of Thrones and Doctor Who. Speaking of which, you might have noticed there wasn't any new Doctor Who last week or this week. That's because it's over. So we decided we'd skip a week of Game of Who and bring you a full-length half-hour episode dealing with both both stuff.
Don't worry about it, man. What Mhysa Sveng was trying to say is
both episodes of the Game of Thrones finale. There we go. Yeah.
But we do have just a bit of Doctor news, don't we, sir?
We do. Matt's all, folks, isn't it?
Matt's all. What do you mean by that?
Damn.
Matt Smith is gone. He's gone off to join the Choir Invisible. He is no more. He is an ex-doctor.
But
just at the point, right at that point when he was actually starting to grow on me and I was kind of digging him as the doctor,
gone. Oh, well. Come on, Idris Elba. Come on, Idris Elba. Black Doctor, Black Doctor, Black Doctor.
Well, there was a chance for a Black Doctor, and it wasn't Idris Elba. It was Chiwetel Ejiofor, or
the operative from Serenity. Of course, it'll just be me watching Doctor Who and wondering why doesn't this guy just kick everyone's ass and stab him with the sword?
Yep.
So there's that.
I guess we've not heard anything. I think it's probably going to be better. As much as we would love Peter Dinklage to be the next Doctor, that'd be awesome.
He's not British.
Yeah, but it's got to be a nobody. We can't have any when I say nobody, it's got to be nobody that isn't mainstream.
Well, Christopher Eccleston wasn't a nobody. He was in Gone in 60 Seconds. Your favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
Not by a long shot. You do not know my favorite Nicolas Cage movie.
I obviously don't. But anyways.
Tap that mic and move it a little closer to the mouth organ, B-man.
Ooh, how's this?
Sounding a little better. So, with Game of Who, well, that's
I guess
our game
without
part.
further ado, we have a wedding to go to.
And this really surprised me that, even if you didn't read the fan fiction from that hack J or whatever is Martin, something like that, who's been writing well ahead of the original HBO series, which I don't even know why they licensed their original content to him. But, Red Wedding, man. We're going to do this in two things since we have two episodes of Thrones to go through. The first one starting out with the
Rains of Castamere.
And we're going to do our first impressions.
Did you recognize the musical sting at the end? Because I found myself going, huh?
Explain.
What is this odd song that they are playing before the bloodshed?
I didn't catch that. Went back and rewatched it. How about you, P-Man?
Yeah, I kind of noticed it because, I read the fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I knew exactly what was coming. And as soon as the killing started, I was...
You know what? The killing was almost a bit comical. I'll elaborate on that a bit later, but just the framing of everyone dying. I don't know. It just seemed very goofy the way everyone was
at the start.
Well, let's just go ahead and throw out our first impressions. I'm going to start first. The first one, the little Stark girl. Pedro's favorite character.
Pedophilia.
Yeah, I don't even want to touch that with a Pedro stick. But the whole thing dealing with the Hound, he was like, boom, why did you punch him? Oh, that's thwack. And she's like, grabs a log, whack. She's like, that's how you thwack someone.
Delicious, nutritious blunt force trauma.
Yeah, and as J-Man said, I haven't read the books. Shoot me. I kind of thought the Red Wedding was going to take place at King's Landing or something.
I thought it was going to be like a simultaneous event, sort of triggered by Melisandre and her sperm blood leech magic.
On the topic of sperm blood leech magic. Jaw dropping.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's like I said, I knew exactly what was coming, and I was still slack-jawed at the way HBO captured that scene. It was great, and it started with that guy going behind, Robb Stark's wife,
Una
stabbing
Chaplin,
her in the belly.
Una Chaplin, that's the actress's name. Let's just call her that.
Because I can't for the life of me remember her character's name. But yeah, the guy comes right behind her, stabs her in the belly a couple of times, and I was like, here we go.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is abortion on the cheap.
Yep.
It was a very satisfying sound. In all fairness.
Call me a romantic. I prefer a heated coat hanger, but...
Yeah.
You were always a sucker for that. But yeah, I agree with you. It was a bit ridiculous. I thought it was a fantastic finale to the series, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. No, I noticed that with season 1, Game of Thrones has a habit of blowing its load an episode early.
Well, I'll take that. Now, I don't know. Series 1, was it at the end of Series 1 that we got dragons?
Well, end of Series 1, we got dragons, but
a lot
of the stuff,
we got White Walkers
stuff happened at like the second to last episode.
We'll get into the next episode.
Ned Stark gets killed, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, P-Man, let's talk problems.
Okay, so my problems, which was really only one problem with this episode, is that besides the actual Red Wedding, the episode was kind of meh.
Well, you kind of have to remember that basically you can't like cram the Red Wedding in with like a full episode of stuff because that's just a bit too much to absorb. But yeah. The Red Wedding, I don't know, when Catelyn Stark got her throat cut, I was kind of expecting a slide whistle.
No, I remember that night that you watched it, I get this message. I was like, wouldn't it have been better if it made... And I was like, yeah, it would have made more sense if there was like a
laugh track or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just goofy how everyone got executed.
Even though I didn't get in on the comments in the show notes, I will say, I knew it was coming... But I kept checking the time on the show. I was like, we're running out of time here. How are we going to do this?
Well, I mean, really, like the second everyone left the room and it was just like Robb Stark.
Oh, I knew it was going down.
And it's just like, shit's going down.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. But
also, I have to bring this up. How dare they have a character named Lord Bolton and not have Michael Bolton or at least that dude from Office Space playing him? How dare they?
You mean like the singer?
Because this is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, that would be fantastic. So
now, come on. That would have made the episode so much.
At the end of the day, that last week's episode, hard to poke holes in. Agreed?
Yeah. I mean, the ending was a showstopper. That was basically it. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna have it's like that South Park episode with Tooth Decay. It's crap all the way up until the very end, and then you get the payoff, and the payoff makes the wait entirely worthwhile.
What are your thoughts, P-Man? To summarize the first episode.
Like I said, the Red Wedding actually carried the episode as a whole, and to me, well, like Jordan said, you can't really have too much of the good stuff in one episode because otherwise you're setting the precedent a little too high. Unfortunately, this following episode, which we're about to get into,
At the end of the day, I thought it was a fantastic episode, and I said earlier, that was a great series finale. Then I was checking the schedule, and it said one more, and I was like, this better be awesome. I mean, this better be awesome sauce, with a slice of, I don't know,
processed cheese.
Toothless dead hookers on top of it. Something brilliant.
So processed cheese.
Splitting hairs.
Yeah. But the next episode, this week's episode, Mhysa, like episode. Mhysa, Jar Jar Binks.
Damn, you beat me to that one. Go for it. Break it in. Here's our first impressions.
You gotta give the guys who pace and block everything and do all the scene composition some credit. They're telling the story of how the mad chef got cursed to become a monster. It's like, not because he killed the king's son, not because he fed him to it, because he killed a guest in his house, and then cut to Filch. I'm like, damn, that's a good transition right there. I called it, but I'm like, yeah, that would be the right choice if I were composing the scene and the transition. But yeah, how about that dick in a box?
Yeah, that was my first thing here in the show notes. Is it's like, so Theon, brah, how's it hanging? Get it
like
because
the scene. It's just like. It's
wiggle.
What? Oh, no. Ew, no. It's just regular sausage.
I wouldn't do that. And then I thought it would be even better if he was like, I'm just fucking with you. It's just your dick.
No. And it would be funny if he just whipped his dick out his head. It's like, here, you want that back? I don't need it anymore.
But yeah, when I actually started cutting the sausage, I'm like, no.
Well, he's got his own special way of dealing with.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was genius. It was. And turns out that Theon was actually right about the identity of his torturer. It was Ramsay Bolton. Lord
Again,
Bolton's
needs
bastard
to be
son.
Michael Bolton's son. No. Of course Theon got it right, because he said he was a liar. So, of course he'd be lying about him lying.
Yeah.
But I guess we got to say, at the end of the day, Jaime's back. Give the man a hand. Really, give the man a hand, because
you know what? Given that Cersei hasn't seen him in a while, I'm pretty sure he's going to be getting a hand.
Well, do you think he'll be getting a hand job? Because he really needs one, because he's missing it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty difficult switching hands. Believe you me.
Pedro?
I don't know. I mean, I'm left-handed since I was born, so yeah.
So you need some variety in there, but anyways.
No, once again, you said something about your favorite little pedophile.
Yeah, no, it's just that Arya Stark, once again, the ballsiest person. In this case, it's not the room, but the woods. Because
she's getting kind of psychotic, though.
Yeah, she's
that's how he likes him, man. There's
horse.
a calendar, Pedro knows she's 16, and there's a calendar marked 18.
Well, 16 isn't 14 legal in Portugal or something?
16.
16. Well, there you go.
That explains a lot. Go ahead.
But yeah, she's just, riding along with the hound. The soldiers are bragging about, I cut Robb Stark's head, and then I mounted the dire wolf's head on his body. And she slides out of the horse. Can I have some food? I'm hungry.
See, I didn't initially get that, and they were doing the whole thing. It was like, oh, bad doggy, blam, blam, play dead. And they were saying something, but I was kind of just kind of zoning out. Just waiting for them to say something prolific, but I even asked P-Man that in the show notes, but yeah, she went a bit mental. She's like, oh, here's stab.
She drops the coin as soon as the guy looks down, just...
You know what? I think she'd do very well in prison.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah. So how about Samwise? I know this wasn't covered in the notes, but Samwise and I guess we'll call them the Scooby Gang for now because they're meddling kids with a dog.
Oh, very good analogy. Yeah, Hodor in the well, Hodor. Hodor, stop that.
Hodor. And Hodor has a reputation, apparently, amongst the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird yet unnecessary scene of all that. But you know what? You get some glass. You get some glass.
Everybody gets some dragon glass.
Yeah.
The second he pulled out that dragger, I'm like, bullshit, he dropped that. No, apparently he grabbed a fuck ton of it. Like, what was that entire
There were a
monument?
few daggers. To be fair, there were a few daggers in that thing they found in the fist of the first men.
But they never showed that he picked up every damn thing, and apparently has some
you only see him. I actually went back and watched it.
All right, go ahead.
And you only see him put one inside the fold of his jacket. So he probably carried the rest. I don't know.
He has some type of like Aeon Flux dimension compressing coat on.
Yes. Yeah, maybe he hid it in as many rolls.
Giggity.
But as the Maester of the Night's Watch reminded us, no nookie for the Night's Watch.
Maester?
Maester.
You mean master? No, Maester.
Maester.
Senor.
Senor.
Yeah, all right. So the glass, that's a thing. Pedro, you got the next bit.
Yeah, so Joffrey, in his very slappable self, actually grew a pear in this episode. You know, the last episode, since it didn't show up, it was probably growing a pear.
You mean when Mummy took him to bed?
Yeah, when he threw a temper tantrum. I'm not tired!
And Tywin is like, he's tired. Take him to bed.
It's like,
I'm not tired!
I love how no one at that table respects him, and they're just like, yeah, you just... Grown-ups are talking.
Who needs to say he is king is not a true king.
So you enjoyed that bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little heart-to-heart with Tywin and Tyrion. Damn, Tywin hates that guy.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, the whole...
I was gonna drown your ass, but then I thought, for the family. And then that little scene with what's her name, the prostitute in Varys.
Oh, your life. Hey, look. It's a wine bottle. It's now diamonds.
Behold. But you know what? She kind of made the wrong choice. I would have taken the money and run. That place is crazy. You're gonna
Yes, I was definitely like an ill-educated person at a movie theater, screaming at the monitor, going,
"Go in there!"
It's like, bitch, take the diamonds and run. You're dead already.
Get out already.
You chose poorly.
So what do you got about Melisandre in here?
Melisandre is like, oh yeah, my dick leech magic worked by causing Tywin Lannister to hire someone to kill Robb Stark. Yes. Oh, look! All of a sudden, I have news from the north saying that a fuck ton of dead people are coming. Oh, this war is unimportant. Let's burn that because it's actually my vision.
No. What do you think about, when she turned around and says, like, oh yeah, you're important too? I mean,
you're important too. It's just like...
I mean, it's Davos Seaworth. He is kind of a major secondary character in the whole thing.
Yes. As we will be finding out in the coming seasons.
Yep.
So that's our first impressions. Now let's get into the problems. P-Man, I do believe, is the first one up on this one.
Yeah, so final episode. You get to see Jaime Lannister coming into King's Landing, and he gets to Cersei's room, and he just knocks and says, hey. And I'm like, oh, come on! It's the season finale. Do something.
Give the man a hand job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give the man a round of applause.
I don't know. Something, just stand there.
You know what? I really hope they give him a hook.
Yar.
Yar.
I mean, this whole
considering the previous
like...
2 seasons endings were fairly dramatic in scope and involving drag. Well, they all kind of involve dragons to a point.
Yeah,
like
dragons,
the final
White
scene.
Walkers, and all that. But this episode, it looked like the first episode of the 4th season. It's like Ven said, it should have ended in the previous episode.
Do you think this was just a nice little prologue to
finish
wrap
the
it
book.
up and be like, oh, everything? And
Yeah.
I was listening to Frame Rate earlier, and there's spoiler. And, you know, they do read that Martin fan fiction, and they're like, oh, they could have let off with this, with something else that apparently is awesome, so that's coming our way.
Yep.
Which sounds really neat. But for this, there was a lot of pointless just...
Yeah.
Talking.
Well, there was the heart-to-heart between Tywin and Tyrion. It was
Children.
Jaime arriving at Cersei's bedroom doing nothing.
Children.
The Davos Seaworthy and what's his name, Gendry, happened to be from the same place.
Yeah.
But you see, what you got to understand is, it's difficult remaining drunk all the time, because if it was
it's hard work. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
Everyone do it. I mean, that's just matter of fact.
Yep.
Yeah, you kind of have to keep trying, you know?
You know what? I thought the individual conversation bits, although kind of pointless, were at least well done.
And just for my last little bit on that slave crowd surfing, I mean...
Okay.
Maybe if they'd done a little Nirvana in there, something like that, just to ice it off, I would have been all right with it, but it sounds like you got some things to say.
It looked like a giant sphincter. A giant puckered butthole with Amelia Clark in the middle of it. A little white turd in the sea of brown. And how about that image at the end? White people are best. Hail Santa.
No. Definitely this season, ending it in that particular shot was just... Yeah, I don't know if they're afraid of the fact.
I'm sorry. Was I the only one who saw the butthole there?
No, you weren't.
You know, you were until you said that. Then I was like, "Yep,
that's a butthole." That's Goatsy right there. Goatsy of Thrones.
But yeah, this episode, I don't know. They're probably scared of the fans because they've finished the previous 2 seasons in cliffhangers and everyone's bitched about it. So apparently now they're just, leaving it at a peaceful time.
And you know what? They got another half a book to cover as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is part 1 of 2.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Indeed. But you'll have to wait for an episode from next year's Game of Who to find out.
How long do we have until the Xmas special and the
50th anniversary?
Yeah, so we can tell
too.
people when we're coming back. I forgot to look that up.
Yeah, so I'm going to look that up real quick.
Sweet.
Doctor... Ladies and gentlemen, live, Doctor Who.
You do that, Pedro. You look up Game of Thrones.
But yeah, Game of Thrones is probably coming back next March.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually when they start.
That is coming out on 23rd of November 2013.
So we're in what month? June?
June. Oh, Rose Tyler's coming back, I guess, because David Tennant's
Yeah, Jaws is definitely coming back.
Jaws.
Jaws.
Ah, you know what? Who's the guy who played Jaws in James Bond? I like that guy. He should be in this episode.
He was a bit of all right, wasn't he?
Yeah. Man, now
how are we coming on that Game of Thrones premiere? Should be on Wikipedia. Episode guide.
It's not. They say that the production starts in July, but the actual season, it only, they say
2014.
quarter 2, 2014.
Yeah, so March 2014, like when it usually starts the last couple of years.
Yeah. So I
Probably
guess
in the last weekend of March.
we'll get to see each other. Well, if you want to see more of this, just us, and you're not really concerned about what
Reach
we're
on over to
talking about.
linuxgamecast.com.
Yeah. We do that every week. Might not be a thing, but you might watch it for the same reason people watch Top Gear. You're not interested in cars. You just want to see 3-ass banjos
Diddly-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
doing their thing, talking about things, because that's all we're good for. But, J-Man, thanks for doing this side project with us. It's fantastic.
Indeed. Game of Who.
Do you think we'll be back for next series?
Oh, we'll probably be back for next series.
How about you, P-Man? Thank you, also.
Hey, I'm unemployed. I got plenty of time.
Yeah, there's plenty of time and lots of stuff to watch.
Yep.
And who knows? There might be
But if you before we cut out, for those folks who are looking for something to watch in the interim, Venture Brothers has started up. We're about 2 episodes in now, and it should be going on for a few weeks.
True Blood starts in 2 weeks.
No, I think True Blood starts this week.
It's this week?
At the end of this week, yeah.
Well, I think we're done sucking the blood out of this.
So, I've been Vinstone. You can find me cleverly hidden on the Twitter nuts at Vinstone, plus Vinstone on the G+, as this man right here knows his script.
I'm Jordan Svung. You can find me at The Burning Fool or plus Jordan Svung on Twitter and Google+, respectively.
And I am Pedro Mateos. You can find me at Unaccounted For on Twitter or plus Pedro Mateos on Google+.
And that's about it. Wave to the lovely people.
That wraps us up.
Cheers, guys.